I'm Veronica, and I wanted to talk today a little bit about blocking. This tip is going to focus on how to block your projects to help them look their best. Any knitted project can benefit from blocking, and it's not just for lace projects. Blocking is great because it helps even out any kind of slightly funky stitches you have, and it makes your whole project look nicer. What I have here in front of me are 3 separate swatches knit in a traditional feather and fan pattern, and they were all identical when I knit them. This swatch here is not blocked, it's just straight off the needles. This swatch has been blocked gently, and this final swatch has been sort of stretched within an inch of its life. So as you can see, it can make a big difference in the appearance as well as the size of your knitting. Here we have a shawl that I've knit in Yowza, and it kind of needs a blocking right now. While it looks nice now, it's going to look even better when we've stretched it out, and it's really going to show the lace to its best definition. So I know we're going to revisit this project a little bit, and it's really going to look a lot nicer after we've blocked it. So now I'd like to show you a little bit about how to block something. So with me here, I have some lukewarm water. I have a little wool wash. I have a surface to block on, and this is just sort of a temporary surface. At home I might block on the floor. I'll throw a sheet or a towel down and pin into that, or you might be able to block on a spare bed, or you might have some fancy blocking boards, so you can use any of those. I have a little swatch we're going to test out, and I have some pins to pin it down with. So we're going to start by putting a little bit of wool wash into our water. And you don't need much. What it does is it helps kind of break the surface tension on the water. Helps your project get all the way wet. Take my swatch and we can add it in there. Make sure it gets nice and wet, get the air out of it, and kind of squeeze it out. Most of the time, your projects don't need to sit in the water for a long period of time, particularly if you have a multicolored project. They don't really need to soak in the water. Superwash yarn gets wet really, really fast. So as we can see, the knitting is kind of relaxing in the water. And we can pull it out, squeeze out the extra water. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up in a towel for just a minute. And what the towel does is it helps just draw the extra water out of the knitting. You can wrap it up and squeeze it. If you have a big project, you can wrap it up in a towel and stand on it, which is kind of fun. So here's our little swatch. It's thoroughly saturated, but now it's just damp. And so we can take it over to our board. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to pin this out. So I have some T-pins. And this doesn't have to be anything too fancy. But what this does is it helps straighten out the stitches. You might have to adjust it a little bit. And you can kind of pat it into place. It's going to help that lay nice and square. And then all you need to do after that is let it dry. After it's dry, you can come back and unpin it, and you're done. For something like pieces of a sweater, you're not necessarily going to need to pin it, but you're going to want to lay them out flat and measure them to make sure they're the correct size. For something like lace, you're probably going to want to stretch them a lot further. Just depends on your taste. I really find that blocking makes a really professional difference in your finished project, and I hope this helps.